Welcome to week 3, round 1, playing against Bobgar, who has a really good record. He was just behind me, I believe, in the standings, but I haven't played him yet, so I actually have no idea what he's playing, but I won the die roll, chose to be on the draw, and this is exactly the type of hand of why I choose draw. We have one lander, but if we hit a second land, we get to play Prophetic Prism, draw another card, and be able to play any of these two really defensive 2-drops. And then we have 2 removal spells that want more mana, and a card that'll help catch us up if he's beating us down. So I decided to keep this hand, which is obviously a little bit risky, but we're on the draw. We have 17 lands out of 33 cards, so we have two coin flips. Wow, turn 1 Sludge Crawler. That's really unfortunate for us, but we win the first coin flip. So we're going to get beat down for, looks like 2 here. And he is going to exile Dawnglare Invoker. Wow. I would have liked to have drawn Dawnglare Invoker there, I believe. So here we have an interesting play. We can either play the Halimar Wavewash, the Prophetic Prism, or Heat Ray for 1. What would you play? Give yourself 10 seconds to think about it. We drew like one of the worst draws in the deck. We don't want to see a 6-drop right now. If we Heat Ray for 1, then we're clear. If we Wave Watch, he could play removal and then get us again. We could play Prism and take another damage, and that's the most likely way that we hit our 3rd land drop, and that's probably the play that I make. I think I'm fine. Oh, okay. Even then, I guess I figure he can only pump his guy to a 2/2, so I'm basically saving 2 damage. And then if I miss on my land drop, then I can play Prophetic Prism anyway next turn. So it doesn't matter. Unknown Shores, Core Skyfisher. Okay, so we save some damage. And we hit our land drop anyway, so here I decided to play the Prophetic Prism. Yep. Don't know if that was the best play, because it wasn't that mana efficient. We're leaving a mana unused here, and that's really bad when we have a level up creature. So the fact that he attacked with both is a little annoying. So yeah, I don't like this. So I'm gonna block his guy because he can't do anything to kill it unless he plays a spell, and he doesn't. So I just took 3 damage there, which is slightly annoying. And we draw a Welkin turn, which is not exactly what I want here. So I really just wanted to hit some lands. So here, I figure if he didn't kill my Halimar Waywatch that turn, then I might as well just play this Fortified Rampart. So now at least, like, he's on all spells in hand just like me. So now if he at least wants to hit me in the air, he has to spend 2 mana to do it. And that means he's not developing his board. Otherwise, my blocks are just perfect. So he makes the same attack, so I'm easily going to make the same blocks. And it turns out this turn he top decked Tomb Hex, which is really annoying for me because I didn't use a mana the turn before, I didn't use a mana this turn, and I just never have had the opportunity to turn the Halimar Wavewatch into an 0/6 because I missed my land drop. Because if I turned it into an 0/6, I think he'd be in a really bad position. Here, again, I'm just brick on land, but if I play this Seer's Lantern that I just drew, it allows me to at least play Courier Griffin next turn, and he top decks land and even a holdout settlement at it. So here I just have to block the 3 and take another 1. Again, he keeps exiling my best cards. Dawnglare Invoker, Touch of the Void. Ooh, Spawnbinder Mage. That card's really gonna be tough for me to deal with. Alright, at least I hit a land, so now I have 5 land. I figure I might as well play my Banisher to give me the most amount of time. It can also trade with this Sludge Crawler if you really wanted to attack. But he's got a 4/4, which is quite strong. Okay, I hit another land. I think I'll just play my Wavewing Elemental. Okay, so it looks like we're both drawing out of our Mana Screw at the same time. He plays a Traju Beastmaster and a Core Castigator, but no attacks. And I know he still has one more ally in hand, so he's going to be able to make a pretty big attack next turn. On upkeep, he taps my Wavewing Elemental. That's actually kind of a bad play for him. Because I draw a land, I now know that I'm not going to get value off of playing this land by attacking the Wavewing Elemental, so I can hold the land very easily. I have six mana in play, so I want to cast 2 spells this turn. So as is, he has 1, 2, 3, 4. He can pump the Sludge Crawler to be a 5/5 if he holds mana open and his Kozilek's Channeler. So I think I want to do 2 spells in this turn. First one is just I'm going to Heat Ray that Sludge Crawler while he's tapped out, and then play this Courier Griffin, because I'm going to need some blockers next turn. So he's going to play an ally and then attack with a lot of things. So he attacks with those 3. He lets me move to blocks though. So my 06 blocks is 5/5. My 3/3 can trade with his 4/2. Basically, my 3/3 would trade with his 3/1 anyway, so I'm just saving the damage and trading now. And I can't do anything about this 6/6, so that's kind of a problem, but okay, looks like he doesn't have much else right now. Again, he makes the same play, tap Wavewing on upkeep, which again is just bad. He should just wait to see if I play a land. So right now, though, I'm pretty stuck. So I can just play both creatures out here. The Welcome Turn is especially bad, and yeah, I'm just not in a really good spot. So he gets to attack with these 2. I get to block my 06, and then I go for the double block here, because, I don't know, I might as well, right? Like, it's a decent trade for him. He'd be getting rid of my flyer, which would make the way for his core Skyfisher if he could deal with my Welcome Turn, which would be easy, I'm sure. He still has the tapping effect, potentially with another ally. So yeah, we just go for it. Oh, it turns out he has Hideous End for the Hideous Blowout. So that's really bad for us. Keeps tapping my guy on upkeep. Draw Makindi Aeronaut. So I have to play this land at this point because I need to Heat Ray and play this guy, and I take out the tapper. I'm sick of him tapping my guy. I attack with Welcome Turn just because I figure it's not blocking. And he draws Crypt Ripper. Okay. That's like really good here. So he just attacks with everything. I can block these things. He can pump. And I go to 1. Yeah. So I can finally scry for the first time on upkeep. But that means I only have 4 mana, so I actually can't cast Battle Herda, which still wouldn't even be that good because Crypt Ripper can turn into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. So all of his creatures are just huge. And I draw land and concede. So turn 1 Sludge Crawler really changed the dynamic of that game. If I was able to just cast my spells like normal, getting a Dawnglare Invoker in play would have forced him to use removal on it, most likely, like a Hideous End, and that I wouldn't have get blown out 2 for 1. Touch of the Void would have been able to kill like his ally, so he wouldn't have been able to tap down as early or kill the Sludge Crawler earlier. So like those randomly affected me pretty badly. But it should be pretty unlikely for him to get like turn 1 Sludge Crawler, right? Like it's probably the only relevant 1-drop like in his deck. Choose to be on the draw again. Sided in a negate because he has some powerful removal spells. So yeah, let's go. Yeah, so I don't know about game one. I thought it was like clearly an easy game for him to win, and I was never attacking him. There was never a chance, and he kind of commented that it was a close game and it was tense, and I was like, no, like it was kind of an easy game for him the entire time, I thought. So yeah, so he has turn 2 Sludge Crawler, which isn't as bad, but that's still really annoying. So we get to play Prism, draw another land, so we're about flooded. We don't need any more lands. Sludge Crawler into Core Skyfishers, same opening as last time. He hit Deprive, which is really annoying. Deprive would have been a good card to hold up with this negate. Here, I just decided to Touch of the Void the 3/2 just to save the most amount of damage. And he follows up with a Vampire Envoy, which is quite annoying. And of course, he hits Sheer Drop, one of our best removal spells. So here I just play Guardian Zendikon just to stop getting hit from this Sludge Crawler. And Spawnbiter Mage, we're in he's drawing all the same cards, which is good. And we are flooding like crazy. Why are we drawing all land? Alright, well, my decision here is to not play Halimar Wavewatch because I think it's my only way to win. I played the Spreading Seas, and I boarded that in because that's one of my win cons now, is Halimar Wavewatch is one of my win cons. So I don't want it to die to removal, I want to have negate up for it. Now, here comes Misplay of the Century. 2 mana, Kite Sail. I currently have no flying blockers and ways to deal with flyers. I have a negate in hand. I left the mana open to cast it this turn. Is the opportunity to play negate on Kite Sail at its ultimate best? This turn couldn't go any better for me, in actuality, right? Oops. What? I let it resolve. What happened? Well, I know exactly what happened. I was talking to somebody in real life, and I got distracted, and I was just smashing F2 randomly, and immediately after I let it resolve, I was like, probably lost. Now he gets to hit me for 4 in the air, and now, I can't possibly win from this point. I can try, but I just can't. So I get to play Courier Griffin, which can't block the 3/4, but I at least get to hold open negate. He's got Crypt Ripper again, which is a big game. Eventually, if he draws more swamps. Battle Herda, okay. So I kind of need to just Wave Watch and level up. Now, the fact that I only level up once here should make him very suspicious that I have at least an instant speed removal spell or something, right? So he switches this Kite Sail over to the Crypt Ripper, hits me for 3, and doesn't follow it up. So that's interesting. So now I think he has like a Hideous End. So now what do? I go to attack to see if he would tap my guy with Spawnbinder Mage, which I kind of wanted him to do. So I get to play Pilgrim's Eye, find a land, and play a Battle Herda. So I'm just trying to just like empty my hand a little bit here. What's awkward is I sided in the Totem Guide Heartbeast, and I actually drew both of my auras, the Spreading Seas and the Guardian Zendikon, so just really awkward. So I took 5 damage that turn too. So I'm in like lethal range, so this is like the worst possible, right? And I draw a Heat Ray, so this is actually really interesting. So I go to see if he wants to tap my guys on attacks. He doesn't, so I'm like, alright, well, I can level my guy up twice, and then his play is going to be tap down my flyer, and then tap down my other flyer, and then attempt to swing for the win. And because I took out his Unknown Shores, he doesn't have a 3rd black. So for him to go for the win, he's going to have to attack and then pump once. And then with pumping once on the stack, I can heat ray for 3. 1, 2, 3. And he can only pump one more time, and that would make it a 3 toughness creature, and it would still die. So if I was at 3 life, I wouldn't be able to tap down this far. If he draws another swamp, then I'm dead. But I figure, look at this game. Like, I'm just so far behind. I already made the hugest misplay and just like let him get target creatures unblockable and gets an extra point of power. Like, I'm such a underdog to win. So he taps my guy. Taps my guy. Attack for lethal. Pump his guy. With the pump on the stack. Like, I can't let this resolve, right? If I let it resolve, then I go to kill it, and then he just pumps again. And then I can't kill it. So I have to kill it with that on the stack and hope it dies, which it does. The annoying thing is that I'm not killing the tapper. But Kite Sail is so good, it's forcing me to, waste removal spells on this crappy 2/2 that could be a 4/4. That thing should be getting blocked by my 0/6s and 2/6s. It shouldn't even be relevant, but Kite Sail is making it relevant. So, of course, I draw Tomb-Guide Harpies, Plains, they're all just blanks. So at least I can level up now and start attacking for 6. So I have them on a 4-turn clock. I decided to attack with these other things here to deal an extra 4 damage to potentially deal some extra. He's got to put the Kite Sail on his 3/4 Spawnbinder Mage, and I can go down to 1 potentially. What has he got? Induce Despair, revealing Ulamog's Crusher. So -8/-8 on my 6/6 unblockable. So good thing I have this negate still. It at least saves my guy. So let's see what he's got. Hideous End, okay. Hideous End. Yeah, I guess my attack was a little aggressive if I knew he was going to have a card like Hideous End, right? So I'm just dead on board. Mainly, not only because Hideous End killed my best blocker there, was that because it dealt 2 extra damage. If it didn't deal 2 extra damage, I could just block and go to 1. I could block, the Sludge Crawler or the Spawnbinder Mage. Instead, I guess even if it didn't deal 2 damage, he could equip Kite Sail onto the Spawnbinder Mage and attack with both the flyers. I could block here, take 3, and I would die to Sludge Crawler. So, yeah, Hideous End is just really good. So I would have needed to held back something. I could have held back Battle Herda. But again, I didn't think it was super. Maybe I should just held back Pilgrim's Eye. Either way, I think coming back from this point was going to be really difficult with me having no good cards in hand, basically 2 complete blanks on this board, and he has 4 cards in hand left, So, little distracted, caused me to play, a game-losing misplay. Again, getting Deprive and Sheer Drop ingested changes the outcome of the game pretty significantly too. Sludge Crawler is just a pretty good card in sealed, but it's only good if you can play it on like the early turns. In the late game, it does get better again, but only when you have nothing to do with your mana. So you either have to draw it like really early or really late, and usually when it's really late, it's not even enough, even if you can make it like a 6/6 or 7/7. But he happened to play turn 1 and turn 2, and then just his deck has ally synergy and good removal, and even apparently, a huge bomb that he only got to 5 mana and didn't matter. He still just played all of his things. 1, 2, 3, 4. He played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards against me. I played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and a 10. I played 10 cards. 2 of my cards drew cards. This one got an extra land. This one gave me a land back in hand, so I had way more card advantage. As you can see, I'm 4 cards deeper into my deck, but him only drawing 5 lands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, me drawing 9. Basically, I flooded in the sense that my 4 extra cards that I'm up on him were all just lands, and I didn't have that much to do with my mana sinks. So if I would have negated the Kite Sail, then his Induced Despair would have resolved on this Halimar Wavewatch, and then I would have had a really hard time winning the game anyway. So yeah, I don't know after this if my white-red aggro deck would have done better. Potentially could have, but I don't know. But I'm interested in experimenting and trying some different builds. Basically, since I've made all these videos, everybody can see my deck list now. Even though it is a week behind, they're going to know what I have. And since it's such a small pool, like, people should know what to play around and whatnot. So I'm probably going to change my deck up for some of the next rounds, but I'll work on that. Alright? So thanks for watching.